I haven't talked with you since high school, I believe. I
I guess high school. Yeah.
It was high school, and it was in Bogotá, Colombia. We went to the same school with a bunch of friends who are very talented musicians in metal, and we
Yeah.
both got our separate ways and traveled all around the world and did a bunch of stuff. That's what we're going to talk about today, right? Let me look for
Yeah. That's a lot of stuff to
a
talk.
lot of stuff to. So yes, we have plenty of time. I'm gonna be doing an introduction to my friends about my new friend, and I'm gonna be reading this in English. Then anytime we're gonna be talking in Spanish, so be prepared. Um, I want to talk about Christian. So Chris, my friend, is a fellow friend that I have like since I was 13, I believe. He's a
Yeah.
professional who has built his career around imagery, music, culture, as an editorial director, audiovisual producer, documentary photographer, with an international career that has taken him to the United States, Europe, Latin America, documenting different cultural and artistic expressions. So, for more than a decade, he has led Rockaxis content strategy. For people who doesn't know who's Rockaxis, Rockaxis is like a media in Latin America talking about metal and rock and culture. And I'm pretty sure you heard about Rockaxis someday in your life if you're a metalhead. So he's been working as a journalist. He's been working with a visual production. His background includes the Yellow Brick program with Rolling Stones at the New York University, right? As well as the
Yeah. And
experience working on film commercial productions in cities such as New York and Los Angeles. He's been here before, and I haven't had the chance to see him. All right. With a
we
very special part of his career has been working photography and documenting some of the most important bands in the metal scene. That's how he's here with us today. We're going to be talking about that. Through his camera, he has access to unique moments from the stage to backstage, capturing not only artist image, but also stories, energy, everything that happens behind a performance. His experience has allowed him to live alongside musicians, get to know different scenes around the world, and understand metal culture as a very close perspective. Uh, is not someone who simply observes, he becomes part of it, right? His path has also been shaped by international experiences. His studies in Sweden developed an artistic vision influenced by precision, minimalism, and a visual strong sensitivity. In addition, in 2010, I read about you, my friend. In 2020, an assignment for Kodak unexpectedly took him to Egypt, where he documented
accidentally.
accidentally. Yeah, now we want to talk about that. Uh,
Okay.
Took him from Egypt to Egypt, where he documented the social and archaeological context just before the Arab Spring. Arab or Arab? How do you pronounce it? Arab Spring?
Arab.
Arab Spring. An
Yeah.
experience that transformed the way he understands photography, the responsibility of the documentarian, and power of an image. So today we're going to talk about his career, photography, of course, the world of metal, those stories that happen behind the scenes, of course, all those experiences as we rarely get to see. I'm really happy to talk to you, my friend. I've been following your career. We know each other since we were teenagers in high school in Bogota, in the INEM Kennedy.
Same here. We are in separate ways, but I'm aware what you're doing here and all your TikTok stuff. You remember when I get into your sessions? It was fun, and we are friends. I mean, separate ways, but we are together in this way.
There you go. We kept contact thanks to socials, and I think that's a blessing for me because thanks to socials, blah, blah, I've been able to keep in contact with my family, with my friends, I've been able to do consolidate friendships from all around the world. My best friend is from Colombia, but she traveled to Germany, to Buenos Aires, she's coming here someday. So I'm really happy to get to know all these stories about my friends. And Christian, is great to have you today. As I was talking to you, whatever you want to say something in Spanish, you feel free to let me know. Okay. I would like to know, since we grew up in the same generation, I watched many of our friends take different paths in life. At what point did you realize this is my passion? I want to do this for the rest of my life. Was there like a moment when you decided to dedicate yourself to photography? And how was that moment?
Well, that was kind of funny thing because it's gonna sound like the pretentious guy that says I've been doing this from I was a little child or something like that, you know. But obviously, photography has been in my life whole life. I went to this Genius Club. It's a Genius Club in Colombia that called the Con Subsidio Genius Club for Kids. So my
At what
parents,
age?
I guess 8,
Oh,
7.
sweet.
So there was a draw contest, a photography contest, and my parents wanted to me, just get busy in something, get passions which of course, like I've been,
Sorry about my cat.
yeah, I have one here that is climbing for food now, but but yeah, well, I've been in photography since I was a child. I won all of those contests, and the biggest prizes was these little spy cameras, and I was a big fan of having a collection of these little cameras. And just like that, I mean, all the time with my camera, I try to buy disposable cameras all the time when I was a child.
Polaroid cameras, disposable cameras.
Yeah,
That's
I never had a professional one until I studied photography in Politecnico Colombiano. Um, film photography for me was obviously reborn because the magic of developing the chemics and stuff like that. Maybe when I went to I went to the college and I found this magic on developing chemics, but I was studying another stuff. I was in medical studies. I was in another stuff. I mean, when I was working for trying to pay my studies, my boss, the director of the series that I've been working on my free time, on my uh, it wasn't a part time. It was like when I couldn't to work,
Mhm.
I work. Yeah, but these guys in this TV channel, City TV, and I can recall the name of the program. I guess was Metro Cuadrado, but I was working there, and
Metro
that's
Cuadrado.
the
It was
only.
a show on City TV.
Yeah, it was like what is the name of a real estate program, something like that. It was something. It's not it wasn't a reality, but was sometimes a kind of a follow reality in those times because you
Mhm.
know the reality shows became a thing before those times. And well, I was working for the. And my boss told me, what are you doing studying other stuffs besides this? You're here, you're good on this, you're born for photography, you're born to do this. Why you're studying and stuff? And things happened. He was later el decano, el headmaster in the College of Film and Photography, and he bring me to the college to study photography for like 5 years, and
Technical or?
and obviously it's like something like this, the passion, the for doing something that you loved is always there, but you're not like aware. You can't tell until it happened, already happened, when you get a crush on it.
Got it.
I found this love in photography in college when I was doing developing stuff, and the chemics and the magic of having a photo was, for me, was amazing.
Yeah, now
Um,
what you meant.
yeah, yeah, it was those times, these difficult times. When we was in college, I was studying analytics and systems, but also I was preparing myself to be a doctor. Uh,
No way.
Different things, like
Other
we, yeah, other paths, other things. My mind was like in the music, in the party, in the like.
Yeah,
I
I can
mean,
tell my friend we've been around.
yeah. So, well, even that's last years in the college with your brother and the bands, and that was a really there was a really fun times in
Those
the
were the
college.
times.
Yeah, no, nobody. Well, not most of me, no, casi todos. Well, can say I have these good times in college, like us, and well, they make they were the seed or something grow in me, because music and photography get linked with the years, across the years.
And that
um
makes sense for you.
yeah, obviously music for me, it's another thing that makes me feel this passion of doing stuff, traveling, working on it, or uh, I get excited when I have to take a concert,
Yeah.
hire by this band, or hire by this production, or hire by this producer, or I mean, it's for me, it's like all these bands that I loved when I was a young man, a
Mhm.
kid. Metallica, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, I've been the photographer for these guys, for Tool, an official photographer for Tool. That no me cabe en la cabeza todavía. It's not in my mind yet. I can't process it yet, but it happened. So, uh, passion. I mean, love for
Amazing.
doing your
I was
your
in
your stuff.
I was really happy when I told you, hey, I might need some pictures for you to for from your working gigs and stuff, and you were like, "What artist? I have it all." I was like, "Oh, Jesus, I love it! I love it! I have it all." How did you start, or how did you became that reference for being the photographer or this artist? How that happened? Like how you were working in a Metro Cuadrado and then you are doing this for the artists.
I was very distracted for following my career on photography, but in I guess in 2028, no, okay, something like 2006, I guess.
2000.
I guess,
Okay.
yeah. So I start to doing these photography concerts to local bands, like most of the people that start in this career. And I was working with this little camera, my first digital camera, and I lost it, and I have to asked for somebody borrow me a camera one time, and the people get started me like, I've been doing this in the metal scene, like singer. I was a singer for a couple of bands, guest singer for gigs or
You were a
padding.
singer?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I remember that you were talking about. I remember one of our de las vueltas que da la vida. I was dating a guy, and I
Oh
went to
yeah.
this show, and you were there, and you were singing with them. Like I was like, what? I think you were singing with them. I'm not pretty sure. I don't remember very well, but tell me all this story because I know you also have this te juntas con bandas tocando y cantando. Tell me everything.
Oh well, that started like a hobby, of course. Like I love metal and I love to sing when I was partying or when I with my friends or playing metal music all the time and growling and screaming and become a ding. Like you're gonna do this, why you don't do these vocals for this band, or why you are not make featurings with this band, or why not? And so I started playing in a band and it became good and this time. And then before,
What year we're talking about?
what? Come
What
on
year?
in?
What year?
It was 2008, I guess. Yeah.
Oh. And you were singing or playing guitar?
I play guitar, but I'm not as good at play guitar like singing because I not have this ship. Like I'm not a really, like genius musician who play and sing at the same time.
I
I
got
have to process a lot to do that, but
Seems like
uh,
everybody else knows about music and is a genius except for me, man.
no, no, no. I mean, people like your brother doing an amazing work playing guitar and singing at the same time.
Yeah, he's going
Um,
to, for sure, he's going to one of my podcasts, for sure. I have to talk to that man.
sure,
Yes.
I have to be there, of
So
course.
you were doing these photographies and you starting with like local shows, any bands that get you started with photography, any band that I will say, oh yes, this Colombian band, what band would you say you started with? You took put pictures of murder when murder was a thing. You took
Okay, tear of misery, tears of misery, and El mismísimo 666. Well, Incinerator.
yeah.
I played vocal for Incinerator for time. Um, I started playing in this band, friends bands. I mean, like, uh, we parent together. Why not? I know the song. We have a good time. Like, yes. And the photography came together because uh, are you going to the show? Yeah. Are you going to take video? Okay. Why you not sing song with us? Or why, like, it get bended like all the time. And then I became a photographer for bands, like just not I mean, the stock photos came later, like the photos for the album, the the hardcore, the photos for they it became serious with the music eventually, but was until when I stopped to partying or having these distractions that I became so serious with. And I bought a camera, a big one, in 2010, I guess. And, and yeah, 2010. And in 2012, I made my own brand of photography in music, in everything. I start like freelance photography agency.
What,
Khris
what?
Forero Photography, Khris Forero Photography born in 2012.
2000.
And
That was the year that I left Colombia.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was the year that I left Colombia and I moved here and I started. That was fun because I started working as a photographer for a camp
Mhm.
in YMCA and a summer camp. I was thinking about you. I was with this
Okay.
everything. It was so fun. It was the best summer camp of my life. It was really a great experience working with children and taking pictures and all that. It was really cool. Okay.
Okay. Good.
Tell me,
Yeah.
I bet you have seen a lot of stuff, and I really want
Yeah.
to take all that
Yeah. Yeah.
information
Yeah.
right now.
I had to write a book or something like that because
You
I
have
have
to write a book.
the Egyptian experience was in 2010.
Got it.
So it was something. Yeah. Of course, it was like something like we call la piedra angular. Something happened in Egypt that it changed everything. Um,
There's like a
and
before and after.
yeah, completely. I mean, it makes a mark on me. Like I have to do this for the rest of my life, and I know I have to waste more time. And then were these horrible times, very confused, very depressed, very anxious, very very chaotic. Was really chaotic. When I came from Egypt, when I go back to my life, wasn't nothing the same. Nothing was the same. So uh, I start to take it more seriously. That I'm saying, like I start to make it for real because I was I had this feeling like I wasting my time. I wasting my life. I wasting this precious time of being this idiot that I, I've been those old times that for me, my life after 2010, it's like it like get conscience, like uh, I felt I felt the real thing, like you're alive, dude. So what happened in Egypt? In Egypt, I was I really don't know if we can talk about this on
Just
on this
try
show,
to do it
but
in a
but
professional environment, very
well,
por encima.
well, yeah, well, the Egyptian stuff was really hard being there in those times. Like if you are in the street and you are not Egyptian, simply you're dead. Yeah, you were a corpse in the street.
Wow.
And these times were really hardly to explain it. I was accused by the Egyptian government as a American spy. I get
Guys.
out in custody.
Christian was like, I
Uh,
don't even speak English.
no, these guys had two translators, and the translator doesn't speak English, Spanish, whatever. They were Farsi, they were Egyptian, they were other languages, but doesn't speak English, and was a nightmare trying to figure out who was I am in that place for start. So yeah, there were very delicate times,
Complicated.
very sensitive,
The
very
Arab Spring is the name of it.
yeah, the Arab Spring, yeah, la Primavera Árabe. The Arab Spring was this special moment in Egypt that the dictator was taken down for another military things, but dude was like a nightmare being in Egypt that time. And they released me, like because they don't have the proof or they don't have in the they don't have nothing against me. They just suppose I was an American spy with my camera in all of these touristic places. But I was working for Kodak, and Kodak hired me as a photographer for doing a stock photography for Kodak. I mean, I take photos as a tourist guy in these special places of Egypt, making stock pyramids, obelisk, streets, people, and everything. Everything was in there. And I just print these photos. Kodak sold these photos like an iStock or like you know, they get money from that. And I just having a good time. But was very sensitive times in that place. And when they released me, like, okay, go. Yeah. I had an issue with the translator. Um, and the translator told me this guy, the chief officer, the chief police, the big guy there, told me, my name is Alfredo. I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah. But that wasn't his real name. The translator told me that his name was Miguel. And I say bye, and he was like very, I'm going to catch you. I'm going to, try to make this. You're walking in thin ice, like something like that all the time, like this kind of, psychological stuff. And I say, okay, goodbye, Alfredo. But you are not Alfredo, you are Miguel, or what is your real name? And he said, like, how do you know that?
Oh, no.
How do you know that? And okay, get out of here. He told me that your name is not Alfredo, it's Miguel or whatever, like it's him, it's not me. I knew it from him. He doesn't understand nothing what I say. And for him, I was like a spy all the time. Then I have to ask for help. In the Colombian embassy in Egypt, they try to help me, but these sensitive times don't allow how they can help me. Like the time was really hard, okay? So I went to the Swedish embassy because my family. I was planning this travel to Sweden, visiting my family and seeing my family before Egypt, but change the plans all the time change. And after this happened, so I had in my mind I have to go to Sweden. I'm going to the Swedish embassy. The consul, she was really kind with me, and she really helped me. She took me out from Egypt and take me to Spain. I've been in Spain like 4 months or something like that. No, 2 months. 2 months. Was an eternal stuff right there. But when I was there, the Swedish government explained me the situation. Like, look, the Egyptian government think you are a spy, and they are asking for you. Like, they knew it all the time where you've been because you've been followed, or they know it everything. Like, you are with us, but she told me like this is bad because if you are guilty of being spying on Egypt, the penalty is death. Like you just dead. They killed you with a spoon or something like that. It's a horrible death. So like, yeah, you can be like this in Egypt because of that. That's why I'm trying to how I say it. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot then. I mean,
I try to process it.
Yeah,
I try to process it. Yeah.
the what happened with these photographers and journalists that go through this political massive riots in countries and stuff, and you happen to be in the moment taking pictures or probably seeing something that is happening. I was about to ask you that, but I'm glad that you move forward with that. I was about to ask you what was the most difficult on dangerous or challenging situation experience that you've had faced as a documentary photographer, and I bet this is one of your worst experiences, isn't it?
I guess it's not the experience itself. Like, okay, being in Egypt, of course, that situation was something that I asked for. Yeah, like I've been there accidentally for first stead. I was traveling with a band, so I ended this happening with being a photographer for Kodak. So things wasn't like I was playing. Like that wasn't the plan. So it came like I put myself in this situation, being photographer for Kodak, and the riots.
Mhm.
I can't hold it. I mean, the violence that I lived in there, like the people like crawling in the streets, or begging for their lives, like, and it's not nice, of course. It's,
Yeah,
and
it's
I just run
very
away from that. I just run away from that. But working in 2014 in Cromos, the magazine, the
Colombian
biggest
magazine.
magazine in Colombia. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a photographer for the El Espectador. Was this big group, the paper news or the 12 magazines that involve. I was photographer for them, and I was photography for Cromos, and I have a commission in. It's in the in the south of Putumayo,
Okay.
and it calls. What is the name of that? I forget. I have a difficult memory since I had COVID. Like, oh my God, what exactly they do it to me? Like, my memory is falling apart. Well, I was in this place. This place was a red place. Do you know what is a red place? No, like
Dangerous
there
place.
is there is a presence of guerrilla or paramilitares
Heavy.
or these armed groups, like very very heavy situation. And I was there doing a chronicle for the magazine with a journalist. I was the photographer, but she was I've been with her. I mean, and she was doing this chronicle. And when I went there, they like, ¿cómo se dice? Nos amenazaron, ¿no?
Um,
They blackmailed us.
it's threaten you.
They threatened, yeah, they threatened on us.
Ooh.
Um, and if you're not going in a plane by 12, you're dead, something like that.
Mm.
We were very inside, near from the Amazonas, so it was difficult to get a plane in that place or whatever. So uh, the people, the indigenous community save us, literally, like talking with this guy, like, come on, these guys are guys of press. They are just doing a documentary for the indigenous community, Kamsa community. In there, there's an indigenous community that is disappearing because this exactly, you know. Exactly. That's why they take they wanted to taking off the place.
Got it.
So
That's it.
well,
Yes.
mm,
I mean, if you wanted to have like a hard time,
Mm.
what other place than your own country, man? It's Colombia crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah,
It's beautiful, but God, there's a lot of things happening in Colombia right now. I don't want to even talk about that because it's really dangerous.
mhm.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
You can talk about what is the situation nowadays because it's dangerous to talk about the situation. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
We
I'm
can't.
talking about that. I'm in comedy, and today, nowadays, making a joke about anything or something, you have to tiptoe around everyone, and it's oh
Mhm.
Jesus, why just can't we make a normal joke like just to be for it? But well, that's like
Yeah.
um. I was thinking about the metal experience, the metal around the world. The That's the part that I'm really interested, and I guess all my listeners are really interested in the experience that you had in the metal scene in many different parts of the world. What differences do you see between the metal communities? For example, I don't know if you had the chance to get in gigs in Europe and Latin America and different like how is different to Colombia or to America? You've been here before, and how is that different for you? How that's a change for you?
Yeah. Well, maybe bands who touring know the difference better than me because obviously they had the experience of being around the world with different communities. But in my experience, I know, and they are going to confirm it. Like every place, every country is different. Is completely different. Colombia, Mexico, United States, Canada, Europe, Sweden, well, Egypt. Egypt have metal fans, so like what? Is haram. I mean, it's forbidden making metal music because the religion, like or the social politics or whatever is forbidden. And the differences I get
Hey,
I
hey.
get is I get is the way they live the passion of having music on their lives, like the live music in this case. No, I have the responsibility of communicate with my camera what is happening on stage and what are the passions that are born in this place at the same time and the connection between the people and the musicians and make this unique atmosphere like um, something amazing happen in every country. I love in United States. I love the support the people brings to the musicians. They buy the shirt. You have been hear this band like 1,000 times or I don't know how many years for buying a lot of merch for this band, right?
Mhm.
No, I never heard them. It's my first time, but I love the shirt. I like to buy this. I like they love to support. They love to support the band because they are conscious about the economics of a band. The band needs money for moving. The musicians live about this. This is the thing who sustain a project. In Colombia, doesn't happen, but the people love and the live music, but they pay the ticket at least.
Please.
I I will love that this be some often, more very often, like que sea más seguido, que the people get the conscience of support a musician or a band. That is part of the culture. this music culture and the musicians uh, have to grow in certain way. I mean, it happened. We have more concerts. We have a lot of bands that never been in Colombia until the past 10 years, We have metal on scenes, on live shows, on new venues for metal. And it's grown in a certain way, but uh, sadly, the scene needs more. And, like, we are just a minority, like try to help in a musician with my photos or with my review in Rockaxis, or trying to convince the people to why go to the show, man. You're losing this amazing experience of having a band, not just in the digital platforms that ironically the music don't belongs to you because you have to pay a subscription. If people don't know what is having a vinyl, or not having a CD, or a change of music with your partners. I mean, people nowadays doesn't have music culture.
Yeah.
They don't read a review. They don't. I mean, I'm not going to throw shit on these people, but it's happening. And digitalism is the poison of the youth. You know, I don't know if I went too far from the topic, but like.
I agree. Check this out. I have this album from Soul Disease. I had it on physic, and it was fun.
The photo's mine. The photo in the middle.
No fucking way. It's yours?
Yeah.
Look
That's my photo.
Hey, check it out.
You can
I don't
you
know if
can
you
you
can see it. Let
you
me
can
minimize
you
it.
can check the credits. You can check the credits. That my name is there.
Oh yeah, I bet. I haven't checked the credits. That's what I have to do in the very first place. And it has a bouquet.
Yeah.
Oh, check it out. So you took all these pictures of these guys. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Those photos. Those photos
Great.
are mine.
Think I'm gonna have a podcast with them too because they're talented, but they're really talented. I was
Jean Paul, the bass player, is one of my best friends. This guy is this hidden gems in music. I guess, I hope that bands, uh, another musician discover him, because the guy is really, really, he's my friend. Of course, I'm going to talk good about my friend.
Let's do it.
But he's dope. He's so talented, Andre. He's so talented. This guy is amazing. Yeah, he invoked me to take that photos.
There you go. You got it. Yes, very nice photos. Very cool. Good job. I wanted to talk. I'm glad that we are in the same line of the conversation. I'm always checking my notes because I get distracted sometimes. Me voy por las ramas and don't get into the core
We
of.
have TSC. We born with this. Like, of course, I got you, baby. Don't worry.
I wanted to talk about the Rockaxis and how did you get into there? How did you start into that? And how important is for the culture, for everything. I wanted to talk a little bit about this Rockaxis. How do you get there?
Okay, Rockaxis have story in Colombia. 2013, if I'm not mistaken, the year.
Uh-huh.
Let me recap that.
Yeah.
Because was 2013. I was in shock. In shock, the not in shock, like the shock, the magazine, the magazine called Shock. Remember that magazine?
I think so.
Shock. Shock. Well, I was in shock working with this amazing person, Mariangela Rubini, on the head of this magazine. On I was working in music, of course, doing shows, more pop, more. I was working in a special edition with Carlos Vives. I was working more involved in this mainstream scene in Colombia. I work with amazing artists in this time, thanks to the shock. And I was trying to link chalk with metal scene, but doesn't work. And I just figured out
still working?
no, because obviously they don't need metal because it wasn't commercial. Like maybe something big like Iron Maiden or Metallica, of course, work for them. Or the festivals, Rock al Parque, or these festivals works perfectly for Chuck. Involve metal, involve another kind of music, but wasn't the thing for them. Like it's not the thing for them. That's it. Period. So I tried to get this photo pass for making big concerts. Um, yeah, it was 2013, and I I linked my job through a portal like a .com. It calls Autopista Rock.
Hey,
Um, in the head of this guy, Alejandro, I started working for free, of course, for covering these shows just for fun. I mean, obviously, it's my thing. I love being paid for another stuff, doing photography, but I wanted to go to a metal concert and do this photography for these amazing bands, And so
you're
I started to Moonspell. When Moonspell went to Colombia, my gosh, I guess it was 2012. I don't remember
I
really
miss
well. Well,
oh man, I miss Moonspell in Colombia. Can you believe that?
Moonspell, they was my favorite band on those times. And I wanted to be a photographer for Moonspell. This guy allowed me. Oh, I'm lying. Was Evolution Rock who gave me the opportunity for being a photographer for Moonspell in that time. Um, Evolution Rock trust me this commission, and I became a friend with Moonspell thanks to that. I
Yay,
mean,
that's awesome. Those are
um,
such a cool guys.
yeah. Well, I having these chatting conversations with Paulo Moreira, who was the official photographer for Moonspell. And I think this guy was a photographer who inspired me a lot of in my work on doing artwork for bands and cities or press releases or whatever they like. You can see, as you have this is photos on your hands. Um,
Cool.
Paulo Moreira, was the official photographer, and I talked to him about the opportunity being photographer for Moonspell, and this guy just like adopt me in behind scenes backstage, like talk to me like I can't believe this is happening, and I get addicted to that instantly. Like I have to be the photographer for my favorite bands, period.
Right.
And I started doing this, of course, very often, more often.
Mhm.
And Rockaxis was a magazine who now have 25 years online. It's a portal, it's a .com, it's a media outlet who they do music. I mean, they are journalists journalisms. They do reviews. They do covering festivals, concerts, something like I wanted to do professionally. And we know con la cosa seria. I have to be a professional with these guys. And the opportunity came when Rockaxis came from Chile, because they are originally from Chile, to a local park to make this press masterclass on press journalism for music. So was a thing. So it's this academic stuff that it happened beside the festival, and you are allowed to go in. And Alejandro from Autopista Rock was the guy behind this project, and and they just love the way we handle this stuff. I mean, I had in this time I had experience in 2014. I had the experience to make my own project. I wanted to make my own magazine. I wanted to make, like, I had a little idea of being a producing house, a production house in Colombia for photo, but obviously it has to be corporate. It has to be, but mainly in music or festivals, or you know, and they make a proposal or having Rockaxis in Colombia, and we just say yes. Yes, why not? I was for the time as director of media in an agency. The agency becomes a production house. I was the head body in media. I was director of photography and video for ADP. And in this time, I have the idea of making Rockaxis now bigger. In 2015, it started bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So when the days gone by, so Alejandro parts ways with Rockaxis, and the pandemic stuff came to. So in Chile, they asked me if I can be the director, editor. That is a figure that is not. It's not a publishing editor. It's something like they need somebody to handle it in Colombia. And director editor came with the time, and trying to convince the people to work with Rockaxis wasn't easy. Since then, because I try and even today trying to convince people to why you need Rockaxis for your projects, or why you need Rockaxis for your concerts, or why you need Rockaxis for festivals, or like trying to find the money or to make it happen, or trying to, now I have to find money to go to festivals in another parts of the world or another cities here in the United States, or trying to pay, not from my own pocket, more from my own budget, this kind of stuff, because obviously a media outlet is difficult to handle without the support of another brand, or people who wanted to be working with us, just like that. And yeah, well, it was now 11 years with Rockaxis in Colombia, like 6 as a director editor.
Okay.
Wasn't easy.
No.
It's not easy. And,
a lot of headaches, I guess.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
well,
Wow.
Yeah, thanks to that, I've been traveling the world, literally.
But that's the good part. That's the thing that I wanted to talk about.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk about a little bit of backstage and the lives of artists. That's something that I'm really interested. You had access to bands and artists that most of us just only get to see in dreams, you know. What's something people will never imagine about musicians once they are on backstage? Like, has there any been an experience or encounter that completely changed the way you saw an artist, or like something weird that you saw in backstage from an artist? I don't know, something like you never imagined. What the fuck?
Oof.
Anything weird?
Well, well, a lot of things happen in that stage. Uh, I 2023, 20, no, 24, I was photographer for Tool. And besides the things that happen with Tool in backstage, is not like the funny things. Every member of the band have their own backstage, like this, but they have a little ritual place. It's a little kind of funny, but it's a little kind of serious because they have their beliefs. The Lister Crowley stuff. They have magic involved in backstage, and this is it's nice to see that. It's a little bit surprising because the background. If you know the background of the band, it's not that I know it, and I mean I know it, but where I try to say is this kind of stuff that happen backstage, the ritual stuff, the shamanic, the magic, the they take it seriously, and it happened. But with Guatain was a big difference with that stuff. Guatain, the black metal band, played in Bogotá, Colombia, in 2000. Don't remember, 18, I guess,
Before COVID?
before COVID. Before COVID, so they played in Bogotá. I was there, and when I went backstage, these guys had a big bowl of with a full of black and stinky stuff right there, doing the mega ritual. Like, I don't know if I can say it, but it happened. But like a real stuff. I mean, I have my belief, as if you can see, if you can see, I have my belief, but that happened really serious, and they have this ritual before going on stage. So that kind of things, you're not. Hey, you are not like prepared for. It happened, but when it happened, you know, you, you don't. You can't even tell what happening. Um, she's asking for food. Because it's time. It's time.
She's asking?
She's asking for food. Yeah, look, this little tail
Oh,
over here.
you can see my cat right now, but he's on the top of my chair. The photography, the green screen doesn't allow.
Sometimes I can see that orange stuff like that.
I have
Look,
cats. This is look at this. It's so
mayhem.
nice seeing him. Oh my God, I love him. He's asking for food. My cats eat at 6 p.m. and you can hear probably
Oh my God.
the uh telling
Oh,
that's funny. Yeah.
okay.
Oh
No,
yeah,
don't buy that. Come on.
I had my notes here so I won't get lost because I'm a person who easily get lost talking. I'm funny. uh,
Okay.
what is like a time that you said, you know what? I think I never seen this. I don't know how to react ante esto que está pasando, or like a historical. Have you ever had any historical situation where you feel like there's like a before and an after when you take a picture, and you weren't prepared for that for someday, like in war or something like that? Like, we're talking about again, seriously heavy stuff. I'm always worried about that kind of situations with photographers. For example, a bomb, for example, like it's something that you were there with your camera and you capture an anything memorial like you have in your mind, others than the things that happen in Egypt or Putumayo.
Well, yeah, of course. That well, it's been a lot of stuff. Like Egypt, of course, once to the Putumayo. Genesano, finalmente lo recordé. Genesano situation.
And
No, Genesano es Boyacá. Sorry.
it's all
I-
right.
todavía no lo puedo recordar cómo se llama el pueblo.
We'll talk about that. I'll find
Okay.
out and I put in the.
Oh,
We'll have to find
okay.
out. It's all right. What?
Wait, girl.
Where were we?
No, this girl is asking for food and she's desperate. Like,
Oh,
come on,
get her
baby,
food.
just give me a few minutes.
Get her food by your side.
Yeah, she have
Oh.
food there, but she want the wet one. La comida húmeda le gusta más.
She wants to be pet. Okay.
Okay.
We were talking about that situation, and no es
Oh,
Genesano.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sibundoy.
Sibondoy.
Sibundoy.
Sibondoy. That's
Yeah.
the heaviest thing that you ever had so far as a document. ¿Cómo se dice en español eso? Yo le diría en inglés como photographer, journalist, pero no sé cómo llamarlo en español.
Photojournalist.
Journalist is
Yeah, fotoreportero.
photoreporter. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And it's more like
Yeah.
the compromise that you have to show the truth, even though you might be threatened to death or things like that.
Yeah, well, yeah, I've been threatened a lot of times, several times, and
That's crazy.
yeah, well, in music it happened. Of course, it happened, but doing political stuff, yeah, it happened, and even governments from other countries threaten. Besides, the keyboard but this stuff you can't nunca paran, never stop.
Yeah,
You
happening.
you can show your support. You have to be impartial, of course. This is part of the landscape. So when you are doing political stuff, it happened a lot, a lot. I mean, why you are supporting this? Oh my God! In music, it happened recently. Why
Ah,
why you are supporting this uh, promoter that was, what is the name of Dogma?
dog.
The nuns band, la banda de las monjas.
Yep.
Why you supporting this manager, then abuse them, and I get obviously the hate, but I get the threatening too. Like, you have to put down dead photos. You have to, because we know where you are. We are knowing where you're having, where your family. Why, why the people is so passionate in that way? They are fans of nothing. I don't know why you don't put this passion in another kind of stuff like supporting. a band or supporting in the good way. That's not support, treating journalists or treating photographers who do their job is not support the band, man. I mean, come on. It happened recently with this Dogma band.
Okay.
They just hired me. Like, I just was the photographer who be hired here in Orlando, actually. They played, and they have the kindly, proposal of being the photographer for them. Why not? There is money involved. My name is on the plate. Why not? So it's really hard when you are doing this professionally. Besides the Rockaxis stuff, you are a photographer who trying to be in the artist or recognized by your job. People know about my job because I have, I guess, my own style, and they recognize this on my pictures. So
That's what we talk about also. Yeah, when I saw a picture and a picture of an artist, picture James Hetfield, for example, I saw your language in your pictures. This is Khris Forero. When I see the picture, I say, oh, this is Khris Forero. That's true. It's like language. How would you talk about that a little bit more? There's like a filter that you use, or I mean, in your analog camera?
I digital. I'm digital, fully digital. Yeah, I try medium format. Medium format is the big ones, but obviously it's too expensive. People doesn't pay the cost that really cost. So, well, fully digital, and I have my Nikon, my lens, and that's me on the pictures. When we talk about the connection, the people, the artists, and the people, like I found in live photo, because it calls like live photo. Live photo, uh, live photography, it's something that you have to be so conscious about the music, because in the photo the music is not sounding, no, it's not loud, it's not noisy, but you have to make it happen. How? Well, I try to figure it out as a musician, because I'm not a musician. I understand how music works.
You are a musician.
In the tempo that I shoot the photo, it's a tempo that the musician do something, If I have 4 opportunities of doing something, I don't have to press my camera until it happen. I just feel when it happened.
Got it.
And the musicians knows. That's why being hired by musicians, because they know how I is the exact moment that they express themselves, that I show in the camera is a photo that is loud, is noisy, and express the artist himself. That's, I try all the time to connect to the people, to communicate. That's my responsibility to do that. Yeah, it's not about just being the concert because I love the band and I want to take the photos. I know I have a completely conscious about my responsibility.
There you have your own, code on how to work.
Mm.
That's the word I'm looking for.
When I do masterclass, because I get invited in universities to get this masterclass of live photography in Colombia.
Yeah.
I try to explain to the people that it's not about just taking the photo. It's not about just maybe the nicest photo is not a very focused one. A perfect light on him is other stuff. It's about the art of doing the part of the art is that it happened when you doing your thing, your own style, born that time when you're like how you say it, despreocupado, not aware of like
Candid.
Exactly. Is you just release these thoughts of being so an escuadro, mathematical and stuff. Like, just feel it.
Yeah.
It happened. It's difficult to explain, but when you get it, it's like, oh, I now know what he's talking about.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's the name of that, live photography. That's something that you had captured at the moment, almost like sports photography, right?
Yeah, it's not the magical thought when you are capturing a memory to frozen the time. It sounds pretty. Of course, it sounds pretty, but it's beyond that. It's completely beyond that. Yeah.
And that it has its own techniques.
Obviously, it came with the time. Because you are not able to make your own style just like that. It came from a thing that you did from a scratch, and it grows, it grows, it grows with a lot of work, with a lot of experience, with a lot of stations, with a lot of venues, with a lot of bands, with a lot of musicians, with a lot of music. And it happened until when you realize you don't make watermarks anymore on your photos because people know it's your photo.
Yep. All right. What is coming up for you?
Okay, I'm working in a project here in Orlando, and eventually people will know what it's about. But Rockaxis, of course, is gonna be next all the time. Here in Orlando, I have a couple commissions, but I'm going to be in Bogotá for the next Rock Parque.
Awesome. August, September?
Rock Parque, October, I guess. September, October. They changed the dates again. So,
I always think it's like summertime, and no.
Yeah, no, all the time is all Rock Parque, whatever is gonna rain. I don't know how they make the effort to it happen. Like, well, it happened all the time. So, well, I've been in Colombia for Rock Parque. January, I'm going to my second boat on 70,000 tons of metal. Yeah, it is my second one.
Everything, man.
Because
you're in 7 tons. Tell me everything.
I've been in the 7 towns for the first time this year in February. I was amazing because that experience of being photographer for 60 bands, but more of 60 in 4 days row. It's not that easy that like okay, you are going a cruise, you're going a big boat with a lot of metalheads, and you're gonna have a good time.
Yes,
of course, you just gonna be that magical moments, maybe 5 minutes or 10, but you have to run all the time. Thanks God, they program it, they make it perfect for a lot. I mean, the 60 bands, the 60 something bands that play in the cruise play twice in different venues. So I have the chance to take a photo of everything thanks to that. So I'm I'm trying to be in the 120 concerts that happen there, but it's impossible. So I figure out that at least 60, at least. I have to make my photos for the very first three songs of every venue. Enjoy the band. I can stay sometimes if I love the band or I like the band or I want to just listen up. Um, have the chance for that. Maybe you can get an extra hiring stuff with the bands that they want your photos there, like it happened with Dark Tranquility or well, another bands, one from Ecuador that is Mini Pony, or the Colombian bands that were there. They asked me if I can have the chance to taking photos of them, of course, and I just give it away. They don't pay me, but I don't care. I wanted to support them.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I was there, like these people spent a lot of money for having me there. Why not?
Why not?
You know. Um,
As you say in Spanish, ya entrado en gastos.
exactly. Yeah. Once the mice running, ya, ya encarrerado el ratón.
So it's 7 tons of metal for a second time.
Mhm.
Parque coming up. What is your favorite artist? I saw you talk amazing photos of amazing Kiss. Oh my God, I was delighted with the
Is
photo. What is your favorite artist so far that you remember? And then let's talk about the you were for Black Sabbath in Colombia?
yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about your favorite artist. Oh my God, it's
Okay. Let's talk about Black Sabbath. Yeah.
okay. Let's
Well.
do it.
Okay. Well, the very first time that what's the very first time? Yeah, but the very first time and the last one that Black Sabbath plays in Colombia.
I saw
Uh,
Black Sabbath when they met 2010. I guess it was 2010 or
2012, I guess. 2013, maybe.
I left already in 2012. I was still in Colombia when they gathered. I don't know if they gathered together all together or Bill Ward wasn't there. I don't remember. I forget. I forgot.
It was the Black Sabbath anniversary
Probably.
on Colombia, and the special guest was Megadeth. And
No, not that one. So probably that one was probably after I left. Okay, let's talk about that day.
Black Sabbath in Colombia was a dink, no? Um, Black Sabbath in Colombia was the 19th of October, the 2013.
Got it.
With Megadeth. And I have this commission with Rolling Stone Colombia.
Awesome. Rolling Stone.
I work for them, and the photos, thanks to Rolling Stone, was the very first time when I realized that I had my biggest artist in front of my lens. I mean, I work at Megadeth before I work at Metallica. I work at, but Black Sabbath having Ozzy Osbourne, and that photo that you saw from Ozzy is my favorite one because of that. I mean, it was the biggest artist that I felt that I making it. Like I making my dream come true, taking photos for Ozzy Osbourne on Black Sabbath on stage.
Cool, man.
And that photo, I mean, it changed a lot of stuff because that photo was printed. That photo was sold as a Uh, uh, you can have a frame of a frames. Tenías tener cuadros de esta foto en tu casa porque I have a limited edition of these prints and people love it. So it was a really good concert. I guess my favorite was that one.
Mhm.
And answering your question, like, of course, I had a lot of bands, like my favorite bands in front of my list: Opeth, Moonspell, Kiss, um, but Tool, of course, was my favorite. Becoming a photographer for them exclusively for Tool was another stuff. Oh, okay, I'm making it again. I mean, I mean, you are doing a good job, man. Yeah,
Mm,
I told to myself like that, like you're here and doing a good job, man. Like that.
cheers to that.
Cheers. I have it my tea.
So it's been such an interesting journey, man. That was really cool. I might probably have a little more questions, and I might probably regret if I don't think very well right now on them. But
Yeah, should. You should.
yes, for example, you said you work with Rolling Stone. It was like a freelancer. Tell me about
Yeah.
missions.
Yeah. As a freelancer for Rolling Stones, because Rolling Stone Colombia is difficult to explain, but it's a franchise, I guess.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Uh, they had a good time back in 2007, I guess, and 2000 until 2010, and they go back until in 2013, and that was the first concert for the covering, like making a review for a concert, and I had the privilege of being the photographer for that time. But besides that, with music, no. Maybe interviews, maybe have commission of doing portraits of a very important person who was involved in stuff. No,
Mhm.
I don't know how to express it, but my commissions with magazines besides Rockaxis or media outlets or dot coms um, is more than trying to get involved in the music business. Like people that have tenía que ver, it has to do with music, but no, wasn't a bad experience. Also, no, it's a really good place to work, of course. And my new adventure of being studying in my 41 years again in the NYU University of New York, and the Rolling Stones magazine sponsored
Very cool.
this university for I'm studying modern journalism. Modern journalism with these people. Legally, I'm becoming a journalist because obviously I'm empiric on the matter. But legally, I'm becoming a journalist, and I'm trying to get my certified as soon as I can get it. Until I guess I have to make it. I have my deadline this August, so I have to make it
All right.
before of that. Well,
My friend, you have questions for me? It's been a while, and I bet you have questions, so I'm all yours.
oh no, Andrew. Well, uh, what happened with your acting career?
With my actor career, it's been working
Yeah,
on it. I
yeah,
started on school. And 20, you know what? It happened like an accident. I wasn't really secure about doing acting. I was like, I don't know, I might probably do it like having fun, but I was thinking everything except for that. And it happened like I did my debut on Chicago in 2015 in a theater play, a small budget theater play, and I loved the experience. So I went full time into it for a couple of years. I moved to Los Angeles. I got married, as you can see in my social networks. I got married, moved to Los Angeles with 4 cats, and I got a
What?
scholarship.
My God.
I got a
Okay.
scholarship in for studying acting in Stella Adler. I was
Oh, nice.
when I finished.
Fancy girl.
Yeah, when I finished the first year, the director of the school, took me
Sure.
in a separate room, and he told me, you know what? I saw your performance, and I think I really consider that you should consider being a comedian. It's like, what the fuck? I'm not a comedian, man.
What? Good egg.
Love,
Because people love the thick accent when you talk like that. People love that. Yeah, I know, I got it.
it's fun, but I didn't have any lines in this performance that I have. This performance was the Misanthropy by
Uh-huh.
and it's a bunch of texts. It's almost like a Shakespeare. It's the shit. So I
Okay.
played a small part. I only had to be like the la sirvienta, la empleada, la mucama.
The maid, yeah.
The maid, yeah, it was the maid, and it was like on the time with everybody wear these Victorian dresses and all that fancy, and I'm the only one who is not fancy, and everyone is pretending, and everyone is like, oh yes, oh, and so I arrived to the place, and I'm looking these people. I'm the only one who is in the reality, so people start laughing when I came to accommodate the chairs for them because I was moving the blocking for every one of them every time they changed the scene. That was my job. Basically, I was thinking, oh, I should put this here in the tape where the tape is. I was thinking all that. And I wasn't thinking even in making a joke or making comedy or anything. I was just thinking, these people is other time and I have to take care of my 9 babies, so I have to do this job. That's what that I had in my mind when I was doing that scene. And
Okay.
I prefer to do drama. I love drama, man. I love drama. I love Jean Genet. I love all these tragic stories. And he's like, you should do comedy. Hear me out. I started doing comedy this year.
How is going that?
Doing
Like,
comedy, not
it
like a
move you? I mean, you feel it? Like, it's your thing? Like, it's comfortable? I mean,
yeah. I mean, why not? I started doing stuff, and it start working on Instagram. Seems like it's working, so I kept doing it. And I don't read any more comments because people sometimes is really mean and nuts.
oh, yeah.
So I don't read comments. I don't read any more comments. I blocked all my notifications, and I just keep thinking. And what I wanted to do, I wanted to do these interview shows for a long time ago because I did a couple interviews when I had the magazine, had a website. I had a website for a time, for a year, Metal Detectors.
Okay.
I remember that. And
Yeah. TikTok
I
and stuff. Yeah.
got the chance to do interviews with great people, with Jorge the Neurosis, with
Okay.
Kaiser from Adominum, with a band from Lithuania. I did a couple of interviews, and I really love the energy of the interviews. But I feel this thing of answering and asking, answering and asking is weird, is mechanic, is dead. It's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna do something else, and I want to keep
Mm.
talking. So let's do a podcast. That's what I thought. Let's do a podcast with my friends who are talented, who are into metal. I love talking to metal about metal, And that's what I'm doing, man. That's pretty much it.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. It was a big resume of the. It's a roller coaster you have been, right?
Oh yeah.
It's emotions. It
Oh,
is.
it's just a short story, long short story, but I should tell you a lot of stuff with a couple of drinks, man. I went homeless. I went home.
Yeah.
It was a time that it was heavy in Chicago and I was by myself and I went to live on the streets because I didn't have a car. I didn't have a home. It was heavy. Everything that I was working, I was sending that money to Colombia to buy the apartments. And
Hmm.
I finally didn't get the apartment. And that's other story with my family. And no, I had that money saved for my citizenship. That's what I'm working right now on my citizenship. So
Okay.
that's the goal right now. And for now, living the West Coast life, the beach, relaxing, sun.
When when I was in LA, you was in Chicago and planning to move into LA. And when I was in Chicago, you just moved from Chicago to LA. It was funny.
We're
We
following
just
the
crossed
steps.
paths again. So, but yeah, maybe people in Latin America or Colombia don't know how long is this distance between states or cities.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah, we
here.
live in the same country, but it's impossible to
Yeah.
figure it out. Well, eventually we found a way, of
Yeah.
course.
How's life in
Andre,
Florida?
yeah, of course, yeah. How was it? What?
How's life in Florida, by the way?
Oh, I don't get used to. I don't get used to. No, it's too much sun. I mean, I love the people here. It's more, kindly than the New York life that I had in New York. New York was so hostile and
You like more
very rude because it's more me. Because it's more me. Like
urban, crowded?
I'm from the cold mountains of Colombia. I'm not from the tropic. I'm not costeño.
No, 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 no.
I love being having a good time. I don't know, in the parks or in the beach, or yeah, I love this on vacation. Oh, but not all the time. Like the heat in the 100 degrees here is crazy all the time. Even having this it's 9:30 here now, and the sunlight. There is sunlight.
It's
There is
sunlight.
sunlight.
Oh, yeah. Here,
Yeah,
5:37, there is sunlight, probably gonna get dark around 8:30.
yeah. It's gonna be dark soon, but the heat or the humidity is there. I mean, it's there.
Oh, it's humid. So it's humid.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And today was a rainy day, so it's
how's
gonna
the
be
driving?
it's gonna
You
be
have to drive
a
long
humidity.
ways or
I just drive from my work, and that's it. I just get out from the house to the car and the car to wherever I have to go. But I don't like the sound on my skin at all. Like, I mean, it sounds like a vampire stuff, but my God, I
yes.
can, I can, I can stand it. I can.
I
Well,
I have a love-hate relationship with that.
oh yeah,
Yeah, because I hear sunny all the time. Jesus, it doesn't rain
Mm.
here.
No,
And
no, no. In Los Angeles, it's not raining at all.
it's not
When it
raining,
rains, it
it's
rains, and
white
it rains
here.
heavily. Okay,
It's
exactly.
And if you forgot the milk or you forgot the bread, you have to draw back all the way down and you have to plan your day according to the steps that you're going to take in your car because you have to end up in Burbank, but you live in Panorama City and you have to go to do laundry and then you have to go to a gym and then you have to take the cats. So, and you have to plan in the morning what you're going to do all day long because you have one car and everything here is far away and everything
Mhm.
here is hot and the transportation is no.
But at least in LA, you have the train or you have a nice bus public system. Here doesn't have nothing of that.
Really?
They have no, they have buses. They have uh, I mean, I don't want to too bad about a city because I really love it being here in certain way,
For long,
but
no, you're not there.
the transportation, the public transportation is horrible. It's horrible. You have an obligation. You have to be a driver as soon as possible. You get here. You have to get your own car. You have to get your driver license because of course I have my papers on a legal situation here, but Florida is very strict with kind of stuff like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, everything has to be in the way it has to be, you know. Uh, that's how it is. Like,
Uh,
but oh, you can get the bus here. There is buses, but you can get the bus. It takes hours from X point to Y point. I mean, I had to get a car. I have been here like a year.
all a year already.
Yeah, a whole year. Uh, and well, my life just uh, go fast. I mean, I'm like insulated, like estoy encerrado en la casa,
Yeah, me too. I'm a isolated person.
but the times go so fast, Andre, so fast. And it came like, oh my God, I've been here like a year.
For how long
Where
you
times
gonna stay
go.
there?
Hmm. Exactly. For my next question to you is all these situations, construyen, bold a person in you that have a different perspective of life. Now you are in 20,000 in 2026,
Mm.
2000. Oh my God, 2026, 2026. I'm saying it in Swedish and I'm saying in my head in Spanish like 2026. So from this from this Andrea to from the 2026 to the Andrea in 2012.
Okay, 2012, yeah. When I was in
Yeah,
Colombia or in Chicago?
yeah. When you were in Colombia for the last time,
Mm.
if you have the time machine
Mm.
to give you yourself a piece of advice, what piece of advice will be?
I did a comedy skit about that.
Oh
If
yeah.
if I don't had a time machine and I will have the chance to travel back in time and go back and talk to the older me, I'm a younger me,
Younger, yeah, yeah.
I will probably hang out and probably get drunk and probably have a blast with that person. And I won't do anything that I was supposed to do. That's what I did. I'm a comedy skit. Like, hey, I have to tell you that. Hey, are you playing dead? Okay, let's hear something. You have here.
Okay, okay. I got you. I got
I
you.
think I
Yeah,
won't
well,
regret anything. I won't regret anything. So I will probably just hang out with this younger version of myself and have fun and tell her, you're doing great. Keep going.
You're gonna be a great girl. Don't worry about nothing.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, well, besides, I guess that besides the situations as an immigrant,
Mm. Yeah,
um,
of us.
uh, people don't, is not aware or is not conscious about how we live our lives as immigrants here in this country.
Oh yeah,
Um,
what you have to go through mentally,
no,
emotionally.
people see videos or maybe hear a lot of things, but they they hear but they don't listen. Uh, and it's not easy to explain it to anybody until you live this stuff by your own. Um, and and you just start to tell the people, dude, live your life, enjoy your life. Don't waste time in stuff that doesn't warrant. And just if you have to advise or give a piece of advice to the people is enjoy the life, dude. Life is amazing. Life is just great.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Like there is just one.
You just said something really important, I was thinking, I was talking the other day with my family. I usually call my family a couple times a month and talk to them for their birthdays or something, or just asking natural, what's going on in Colombia, how's everything, what happened with Abelardo de la Espriella, with Cepeda,
Ah,
with that. And everybody there is so stressed, and everybody there is um, está muy resentido, está muy enojado. I don't know how to say that in English, but
mm,
de que como una carga, como un grudge, como un beef, como like everybody is tiptoeing around in Colombia, and it's I personal I took the decision to disconnect myself from news in Colombia, because I was feeling the same way, stressed, worried, aggressive, uh, I don't know, angustia, uh, all that. My family feels that all the time, and I wish I just could take them out of there. I wish they can live in a different way. I can bring them here with me. I know it's not the best outcome here. It's not the best, but at least here we have peace of mind. I am a very tranquil person, and I can breathe, and I can say like I can think and doing my own stuff, my and not. It's not that you don't care about your country. You care terribly about your country, and you love your country most than anything. But
uh-huh.
I don't know if it's like the social media. I don't know what it is, but people there is aggressive all the time, and like.
Oh yeah. There has this hostility because in as a professional I can tell you what it happened. Uh when digitalisms came to the people's life, the people get more inhuman. They lost total sensibility. They lost the people are like not conscious. I mean, uh, they lost the sensibility of being humans, literally. I mean, you thanks to social media or thanks to having internet all the time, the people lost just the common sense of what is normal, what is not, what is what is bad, what is good. I mean, people just scrolling their screens and they just see. people dead or another corpse in the street or just like another video, and they are losing humanity. They are losing sensibility. They losing the uh, empathy of being humans, like being nice with another people. And it came because people who do that intentionally, they are directing this kind of speeches. You know, they are directing your way of thought. They have you, and you are not aware what is happening until it happened.
Mhm.
And the manipulation of the social media manipulation is a thing, and the people is just in a bus uh, driving in a crazy way of handling the things, and they think they are good or they are being correct, thinking like they're thinking.
Mhm.
And if you have an opposite thought, an opposite way of thinking, you just clash. You just it's not the way, and it's violent because all you know about violin is how you can ya puedes resolver esta situación de esta manera, just clashing, and people can bipolar. You are fine, totally fine, or you are totally rude, like rude. I mean, like the evil and the God, the good and the bad, but is not nothing in the middle. Uh, if you're in the middle, you're a warm person, like the ethereal.
Sí,
No?
and that's ahora como una ofensa, ¿no? Call someone
Uh, yeah, you don't take a side. You're a warm
pick a
person.
side. You are supposed to pick a side.
Yeah, of course. It's blue or it's red or what kind of person you are, and they judge you. They just judge you like, I mean, and they don't realize they are being manipulated by this speech of political instance, of weight of thoughts, or whatever you call it. But the people just don't realize they are manipulated. They are something, they are into, están montados en un colectivo de pensamiento.
Mm.
¿Sí?
Mhm.
Entonces, the way of being conscious of thinking is not being warm, in not being in the middle. It's just, that is not good, that is not nice. And make a versus or make enemies or make friends or foes or whatever is not my thing neither. I mean, that's why I have to talk to my mom, the people that I care like about the situation. Mom, the way that things is happening because it's the manipulation. Don't no caigas en esa trampa. Don't get that cookie. So don't worry.
And
It's
everybody
it's not you.
on social media about hating and about I don't know, man, that's crazy. I would like to uh, finish our session talking about our national bands. I would like to talk a little bit about Colombian scene. I have one of those bands here that I really want to talk about them. These guys are awesome. I listened to Downfall. It's like Jesus, so
Uh-huh.
cool. And what is like the evolution that you've seen in metal? You've been a person so close to metal and so close to the artists. How's that evolution and gente, público y estilos de bandas, like the new deathcore, the new music, and the new public? How do you feel
The young
evolution?
the young people now in the scene, that we are not young anymore.
Yes, we're not,
So well,
because
well,
we are masters now.
well. I mean, when the evolution came, well, Colombian metal or the Colombian metal scene have been, well, they have this style, they kind of making metal, whatever metal, death metal, black metal, they have a sound, even if they denied it. I mean, ellos lo niegan, pero los colombianos, they have their own sound. They sound, especially because we have the tropic in there. We are tropicals naturally, you know? We can be, we can play the black metal Nordic stuff, but it's going to sound warm, it's going to sound tropic, it's going to have something raw in the roots of the metal scene. Um, but the evolution, of course, in the sound, like that band that you have in there, progressive technical death metal, uh, you just you just can't tell one thing. You just realize one thing, that the talent of the Colombian musicians is something unexplored. I mean, the people don't know how talented the Colombian bands are. And the Colombian musicians don't know how the power they have in their hands. Of course, the culture, the music business, the the management of band as a brand, because the band is a brand, the band is a company,
Yeah,
but the music business is another stuff.
yeah,
Lastimosamente, la gente no sabe. They don't know how to make it,
yeah,
how to manage this big company. They don't know how to handle business with the company in another fields. They know how to play because they are musicians and that's it.
yeah. Nowadays
But
they have to know everything. They have to promotion themselves, everything, right?
exactly, but now they have a big challenge of the music scene nowadays, because digital platforms are making them the way they are making the way so hard that the people get frustrated so fast of making metal, and they just quit. And if I have to say, like an advice for them, is like, don't quit. It just it's the time now. So just figure out, like, live music. I mean, doing concerts is something that you can replace with AI. You can replace with a digital way of form. Like, okay, you can record, you can videotape whole concert,
Yeah,
but it's not the same thing.
that's the
You
same.
know, it's not. Make the experience for the people that love your music, and you can have fans anytime, or you can grow that list even more if you make live shows. I know it's not cheap, I know it's not easy, but
No, it's not.
you will find a way. You figure it out. You will figure it out.
Yeah, I'm excited for these guys. They're still around. They're really good. Was talking about, do you remember Murder? I'm really sad that they're done. I'm sad.
They part ways. Yeah, they part ways.
And there is like no hopes. So it's like,
Yeah,
that's it.
they were good. They were good, but it's just another example of, dude, don't quit. I mean, if I can tell to Freddie, man, you have to go back to play guitar, man, you are good in it.
Mm.
You can't deny that talent you have. I mean, it's something that is in there. Like, why don't take your time a little Saturday nights and play with your pals? I mean, you can make it. And I'm telling you, life is going fast.
Yeah, and you know what? To have a band is like to have a marriage. Like it's
Yeah.
a contract. It's not just yourself taking decisions. It's not just you. There's a bunch of other minds who also
Mhm.
wants to create, or who also have other things to do, and deal with other humans, deal with other people about your own product is something challenging to have a band. I mean, I'm not a musician, I have no band, but I'm married. So I can tell about the
You
similar.
understand. You understand
I
completely. Yeah.
understand you have to negotiate. Ah, mira, ahí está el comedero de los gatos. You have to ceder. um,
Mhm.
You have to agree to disagree, solve situations. I mean, I've seen that in bands, and I love when the bands can cambiar, evolucionar,
Mhm.
through the time. Uh, they're still together. I mean, it's like wow, what a band, and it's a little bit challenging, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And mira, antes de que vaya a romper esta madre, yo aquí lo voy a guardar. So
Mhm.
yeah, basically that. Vamos a hacer un resumen de lo que hablamos hoy. For the people who were expecting us or listening to Spanish, the whole thing, no, we finally made it in English. I'm gonna be
Well,
the subtitles.
well,
Horrible English.
our horrible English. Yeah, it's
Our
the,
different
the
English.
Swedish. The Swedish have a word for not too much, not too little. It's
Ah,
lagom.
exactly.
Lagom. We are lagom. Not too much, not too little, but we are in there.
Yeah, you see that. Oh, by the way, you see you saw the World Cup?
Oh yeah, 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 of course. And I get the hate on my social because when Colombia gets eliminated, you know, I say I'm just going to support Norway. Yeah, why? Because why? Because there is no Latin American teams more, but there is Argentina in there.
Argentina, yeah. I don't want to
So
support Argentina.
no, Argentinians, they say they don't are Latinos. So
That's what they said. Okay.
yeah, they say they are not Latinos. So why am I going to support a non Latin American team? And I just say it just for fun. Oh my God, Andrea, I get the hate from the Argentinian people. Like I went viral and I had to delete the post because
Mm.
they went too much in there.
This
Again, why you have to go so far? Again, why the people are so rude, why so mean? Just supporting a team.
and
I mean, I just want,
when it's
I
about
just want.
sorry, when it's
What?
about social media, I have my stories on social media.
Uh,
So I like to share. I start making my friends, my community of friends. I don't know you know about my friends. Uh, no, probably no, but uh, I had a community on when MSN groups was
okay,
in.
okay,
And I had a
yeah.
community there called El Cementerio de la Cordura, something like that. And it was
Oh,
for people into black metal and gothic.
okay.
I'm into gothic metal, let's go. And I was like 19, 20 years old, and I joined to this community, and I made my very first friends there. So when I made them up front, it was crazy because you will never know what kind of person you're gonna find out the other side of the screen. And I met Camilo and Camilo. Ay, ¿cuál es su apellido? Se me olvidó. You probably know Camilo. He had this community, and he was like, let's do concerts. And I started doing concerts. I started
Oh
doing,
yeah.
yeah, we had a time organizing concerts, black metal concerts, and
Oh shit.
it was really fun.
Okay.
The organization was called Dark Knight Productions, and we have a couple of shows. And I met no, I totally forgot all those bands at that time, but it was the very, very first show that I made, and I started making my friends through internet. So for me, the connection with internet at the beginning was different a little bit. No, it was not just chatting and meeting someone; it was more. My best friend, I met her because I research what are the most front female metal females in Bogotá and Colombia. And I researched, and I
Mhm.
found Katy Gomez. Katy is my best friend. And she was
Okay.
the vocalist of Ancient Black. And that band
Oh,
for 2001, 2005. And she has great vocals. So I started, I don't know, I contacted her through social networks. And
okay.
most of I have a bunch of friends around the world through social networks, and we interchange music, and we interchange bands, and we're like, you know what? You should interview this band. And I recommend it to you. They speak English. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, I don't.
Okay.
It's
But
just the good things about the social media. I had that good experiences, but the bad experiences in the other side. I had people who call me names. I won't tell. Call me names. Call me fascista.
uh, to you, fascist. Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
because
okay.
I made a joke.
Maybe the people don't know how your communist was in the class in the school.
They don't know I'm a comedian. And so I made a freaking joke. And I said in this joke, when I make racist jokes, but nobody calls me liar. Everybody calls
Okay.
me racist, but nobody calls me a liar. Why? It was
Uh,
a joke.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, oh, God. People
Oh,
said,
fascist. Okay.
nuts. Racist cunt bitch. Oh my God, I had to delete that post. It was crazy. I woke up and I had people threatening me to death and calling me names. And it's a
Oh shit. People is
joke.
mean. I mean, yeah. Okay.
So making jokes today, no, nowadays is tiptoes around people, tiptoes around
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
girls,
Yeah. Yeah.
around
Yeah.
them. And we're not supposed to be like that, You're supposed to hold a joke because you're a human grown up. And I wish things were like that. And nowadays, when you make a joke, and I try to make fun of those also when you are in a meeting with your family, and the mom is like, you should not talk about politics or football or religion. And your man like, Mom, what do you think about God's beliefs in football and politics and birth control? What do you think about that? I would like to provocar. Uh,
Yeah. You just wanted to see the world burns.
uh, I had fun doing that, and sometimes people don't. But well, that's my
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Comedy is being fun. I think I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't know if I'm going to do a stand-up someday. I might probably do a stand-up. I did once a stand-up. and this stand-up comedy was about being Colombian and how you just arrive somewhere and they're asking if you have cocaine or if you work as an escort or if you have surgeries or if you are Pablo Escobar family or if you blah blah blah, etc.
And why you don't say papacito or like the Colombian girls do?
Papacito. Because
Yeah,
that's the
papacito. Why you don't say papacito?
What's the worst thing that you ever had? No sé si llamarlo xenofóbico o cómo llamarlo. When you go to another country and they te tiran rayo por ser colombiano.
Yeah, xenophobic. Yeah.
Xenophobic. Yeah. How you have any experience like that in any country?
No. To be honest, no. Never, never, never. Like I just experienced that in that post with the Argentinian people. They were just so racist. I mean, how are you going to be a Viking with that color skin monkey cartoon? They calling me names like monkey, brown sugar, like Pablo Escobar, Vikingo. What the fuck, man? Like a lot of stuff like they call me Mexican. I think it's not an insult, but they think that is an insult for whatever people, like,
The
looks brown skin and the mustache, stuff like that.
The worst thing that somebody called me someday was that I was murderer, beaner, or something like that.
Being okay. Like, I just had this bad experience with it was a Canadian guy actually, and I was saying something that he can't do it, like please don't, like blah blah blah, and he say whatever, Pablo. Like, Pablo, like Pablo Escobar. Oh, you are so smart, man. Oh my God, I just so smart. Um,
Okay.
no, but I haven't racial issues.
It's incredible.
Like no.
I mean,
In Colombia, actually, I had my things with the Nazis in there, the neo Nazis, and the sharps and the punks, and oh my God, it's so ridiculous in there.
there are still a thing, the sharps and stuff. Is it still a
I,
thing?
I don't really don't know, but in that time when I was a kid in college in school was the thing. You are a neo-Nazi or you are a sharp stuff or red skin or like do you remember our uh, social circle that we had this we fought for our rights when we could because the school was a dictatorship, something like we were kids with kind of good stuff, right? We fight for the right things. We fought for rights that the people need to have in the school, the students, and was unfair with the way that the government treat us in that time, more in the situation that we have in the public school or the people was struggling trying to get education, basics. And just for that, you were a communist.
Wow.
You were enemy of the neo-Nazis. You were enemy of the people who was against all this stuff. Like nowadays, like today, if you are not with Cepeda or you are not with Abelardo de la Espriella, you are a war people. But if you are with Cepeda, you are communist, or you are not with Cepeda and you are with la Espriella, you are a fascist,
Yeah.
right?
It's delicate.
And it's just like, it's simple like that, Andrea. It's just simple like that. Common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense. It's just common sense. You know that is good and what is not good and what is awful and what is terrible for the people, the environment, the country, and the whole situation, the the landscape of political stuff is so wrong. Just not now. It's been years back then. I mean, it's for my, mi, para mi conciencia, for my conscience, for my, when I get this sentido común, cuando lo logré, this common sense, I had these issues in the school. So this is not a today thing. This is been years and years and years of unfair situations for people. And you are telling me that I have to just shut up and let it be? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
I
So
think a
like,
lot also for being a TV. I mean, I don't know. I think it's complicated, and we have to fight for our rights. I'm thinking of that. I'm not thinking of that. Yes, if you have to fight for your rights, you fight for your rights. To party.
yeah. To party. Yeah. Well, there is a lot of ways you can make the difference, like talk, like make common sense in another people. And that's it. And just a conversation maybe can change lives. This podcast maybe can change the mind of people that is listen to it.
And
So
we can learn about the cultures of other countries, other situations, how is different, how is like, for example, you being a photographer and journalist, photographer, journalist, photojournalist.
photojournalist.
Yeah, how you being a photojournalist can capture story moments, historic moments, and how you sometimes see the truth, and your mission as the occupation as you are is to capture that truth, right? That's it.
Yeah, facts. The facts. The facts are there.
Fact.
We have the responsibility of make the documentation to make the facts real. And nowadays we have the fake news and social media that can be manipulated by big engines of disinformation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we have our, not it's just a photo, it's our name on it, that you are making some points, like very important points to make, para sumar, to make the difference.
Yeah.
Sí.
Mira, mira.
Look at there. It's just like mayhem.
Show me your baby. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Show me your baby.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I think we finished our session today. Thank you so much for such an
Andre, it was so nice talking to you after all these years. Man.
yeah, I was like, I have to record this before we start talking because I'm not gonna miss anything. It's been a while, and probably before 2001 when I left college, when I left high school.
Probably people don't care about all the stuff between us, but
You don't care.
it's another panorama, another landscape, you
That's
know.
how things happen for the people who is behind the stories, behind historic moments, and behind artists, you know, because it's not just
Yeah,
pictures. You just said that is all. The whole process is a whole language that you put into. Yeah.
yeah. I know a lot of people that is running in just automatic, like life is going fast, and come on, wake
Autopilot.
up. Yeah, they are autopilot. Yeah,
Okay.
and
Hope this conversation that we have inspires a lot of people to make their dreams come true, whether it is a musician, whether it is a photographer, whether it is an actor, a comedian, a cat.
cats' lives.
I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I'll see you next time, probably talking with one of our friends that I have for the next week. It's going to be every Friday. So today is gonna be the next Friday. So we're gonna upload this one to all the platforms. I'm gonna share it with you. And if I have any questions or I want more pictures, I'm kidding. No, I think I have enough pictures. That was a good job of pictures that I have from you. And
Yeah.
yes, that's it. Thank you so much. I think we didn't miss anything today.
Oh, of course, there's a lot of stuff
Oh.
in the way, but now, thank you for people who went this way, went this long in this
So maybe this
podcast.
is long. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for being here. Uh, and of course, anytime you need an advice or if you are a photographer who is looking for information, uh, just hit me up. I mean, I'm able, I open doors all the time. And
We never
thank you
know.
for, yeah, thank you for, excuse me?
No, pues we'll never know if sometimes we have to work
Oh,
together.
okay.
We'll never know.
Yeah, maybe there is people that is interested in starting to the live photography life. So you are very welcome anytime to ask. And thank you again for
I'm
being
gonna be
here.
posting our social networks in each one of our screens. So I'm gonna be posting probably your Instagram and there so people can see your work. And yep, this is gonna be on YouTube. Voices with Andreanet. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Bye.